Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Coming in with a fire and a fury would be that of mousesports on their T side, really running away with there and putting Navi back on their Bopas, as they did not find much success in that CT half. In fact, that was not much success at all there from Navi, and we're going to try to make some sense of how that all came to be here on this analyst desk as the road to Odense continues. Chad and Natu here with me, or you might know him as Sponge, dare I say. Maybe.
I thought we were in Odense.
Yeah, but this is the road to Odense. It's kind of like this thing, I guess, the city's.
There's a hashtag and stuff. It's
all
right. It's a big deal around these parts.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Just confused me there for a little bit.
You know what I think is funny? A little mouse having such a big bite against a team and a matchup that we thought was going to be very brawly because of the stars in these squads. Unfortunately, the stars didn't really show up. You can say, yeah, Simple was holding his own, but his kills weren't necessarily impact frags that allowed them to get into rounds. And
he's not always winning the game for these guys.
Yeah, like he still breaks even in this thing, but realistically, I didn't feel like he had more impact than any other player on that team.
I don't think whether or not it was a case of the high tempo that Mouse was showing early on in the game that kind of tilted Navi in that game for a little bit. Because then towards the, as the first half progressed longer, it felt to me like there was definitely, we were discussing this before, probably some communication issues going on in the Navi side. It felt to me that Mouse was getting the lower bomb side a little bit too easily without having to pay too much of a price.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was because Navi was getting a tell that maybe an upper hit was happening, not sure. But then obviously, once those floodgates open, very hard to try to manage things anymore.
Well, you know, I think we have to start looking at some of the real nitty there, right? Because this wasn't Navi's pick. This was actually mousesports' pick, which does kind of give them that leeway right from the beginning. But, you know, Chad, I feel like you got all these toys, and I know Christmas is right around the corner, so why don't you just play with them?
Well, this is another one, and this actually attests to a lot of the points Natu was just making there. On the telestrator right here, we actually have the first gun round of the game. So we can see right here all the different POVs, but what I want to focus on early is Ro2, who is actually going to be here throwing utility towards lobby, and the whole point of this is to hold that top site push in place so they can't rotate through the vents, which is one of those points of rotation that we spoke about. Now when we center on the map here, you can see this smoke wall come in that we were talking about. This avenue allows them down secret. The question mark that we weren't quite sure about was how are they going to rotate, and their rotation was actually through this man right here of Flamey. He's going to drop under to ramp, but what I want to notice here, and what I want to really focus on is, as we go to the orbital cam, is the way that he rotates and doesn't actually contest for territory.
Yeah.
So we can play this one out. He's actually just going to make his way down, and he's going to hide in this position right here. Now, the good thing about this is, maybe he could pounce if they took the bomb site. The thing is, they don't really take the bomb site. We can get this angle right here. A player jumps up on window. A Molotov is going to be thrown to here to stop the vision. But if we go to the number 2 cam and the number 1 cam, you can see the smoke at this point right here. This is where the bomb's getting planted. So at this point, the bomb's gone down. Flamey is still here. He's still hidden. The bomb's planted, and nobody from mousesports has had to get on the bomb site. So we can start playing this one out and go back to cam number 4. This is where I think the communication issues come on in. You're going to see Flamey start to sneak his way out. He's in the bomb site right here now, and he's going to walk towards the bomb. And they're waiting for a smoke from one of the ramp players for him to start defusing. So if we pause it here, look at this. He's going to tap that bomb as soon as that smoke comes in. This guy's looking across to the doors. When this guy rotates in, his vision is still over towards this position. What should happen is that the guy who's closest to Flamey, this player right here, should have helped and assisted over towards the door, because Stiko is going to have an opportunity just to spam through the smoke and kill Flamey. There's no trade potential. No one's even watching that. Look, we have 3 people who were all at one point looking to the same position. He was here looking towards the door. He was also looking to the door, and the ramp player is looking towards the door. No one can do anything to help Flamey, who's over there, you know, trying to defuse the bomb in the smoke. He gets spammed. At that point, it's all over. mousesports didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, Flamey being the Russian in the cupboard, dare I say.
That is very true. What also is, I think, a key factor there is that limits also the amount of intel you have on what's actually happening. I mean, you see teams make a crossfire, one in the vents, one is going to be in the stairs, and you'll get that information. You can still bail, you can still play more passively afterwards, but at least you know, and you make the T's spend utility before they actually even get to that bomb site. So that's what I found super odd in that situation.
You know what would have helped a lot right there? is knowing and having the proper communication, knowing the teammates and how you want to communicate
Kind of
amongst
protocol,
each other.
maybe.
And maybe a protocol. That probably would have went a long way. But we're going to go a long way right now and knowing in your teammate. That's exactly what we're going to hear from. So let's check it out.
I think the most valuable thing you can have as a teammate would just being not selfish, I guess. Just making sure that you're putting your team in the best chance at all times to win, even though if it costs you your death or anything like that, as long as you're putting the win above your own game, I think that's the most important thing.
Communication, number one thing for me is communication. You have to communicate well, under pressure, out of pressure, when you're calm, when you're stressed, when you're angry, when you're sad. Always be on point.
I think there's so many actually, but if I have to pick one that's very important, I'll go with commitment, because you can be a good player, but if you don't have commitment, you're gonna kind of lower your chances and your teammate chances as well. I think commitment is the best one for me.
The most important quality for me on a teammate is being handsome, because I like to look at my teammate and see.
I'm sorry, I'll let you down. I'm sorry.
No, you are okay.
Okay, I'm alright. I passed the bar.
So I like to look like nice to me.
Sorry, I'll shave my beard. I'm sorry.
No, it's actually
it's
actually good. It's actually looking good. You got a haircut as well.
Oh yeah, thanks man.
Yeah. So I like to look at next to me and see a good look person. Right now I have.
Yeah, I guess you got the.
No.
Yeah, you might have to look to your left a little more.
No, it's fine.
Alright.
No, I'm telling you, it's
Alright.
fine.
Alright,
Man.
thanks.
It's fine. So yeah, I would say I need handsome teammates.
Well, Taco and Naf, they're certainly on their way to Weird Town.
Taco's just becoming this massive troll now.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
Yesterday,
cool.
and then his interview, all about the laptops and this and that, a bit of selling out here and there.
Yeah, it's like he's jumping on a brand new train, which is exactly what we're
Oh, here we
talking
go.
about. Right now, it's time to talk about Train. The next map in the series could be the last one here for Navi, as mousesports do have that upper hand going into it.
I was going to say, you're riding a Segway.
Yeah, something like that, Chad. Not bad. It's pretty good.
I thought. Anyway, I was just looking at the stats, and Navi, the last time that they played Train on LAN was the 28th of October. So there's quite a lot of time where they haven't actually played that map offline. They played it on Pro League, and they had some mixed results on that kind of map. But the thing that worries me is they picked it. So that means they must have really either found some tendencies they can exploit of mousesports, or they've been putting a lot of work into that in the boot camp, which maybe is a good sign for all the Navi fans out there.
I mean,
reaching.
Yes, yesterday, mousesports played against Ghost on Train.
Yes.
And that was quite the showing, actually. Ghost in that game showed a lot of proactiveness. They were trying to push Team A and Ivy here and there, everywhere. But Mouse were ready for everything, and they were winning a lot of the opening duels. Basically, they didn't even have to do a lot of things before trying to hit a bomb site before they were already up in like a 5-on-3 situation.
Well, the big opening duel has already been won in this best of 3. Mousesports have secured the first map, which means if they win this one, they're going to be moving on to that playoff berth. So, guys, before we hand it over to the casters, what are you guys feeling?
I think it's going to be struggles for Navi as they don't look warmed up.
I feel like this is where the brawl really happens. But honestly, seeing how Mouse played yesterday on Train and so far in this game, Mouse is going to take this.
Mousesports looking like they're in that driver's seat, and one man not stranger to a driver's seat at all would be Henry Greer. And then there's Sadakis, who also knows a thing or two about cars. Take it away, guys.
Press the gas pedal to go faster.
That's the way to do it. And we'll see if Navi can get into 5th gear here, perhaps, because they really need to. A real slow.
Like 8 gears now, Hank.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. That's the saying, isn't it? It's a figure of speech. Anyway, shall we get into it?
I'll think about it.
We'll see Navi's on the T side of time. Remember, this is their pick. So mousesports with an advantage this time. After what they showed recently on Train and the way they look today, you have to feel like it's going to be a 2-0. But we want to see the third. We'll see what can be done here. Chris J's been excellent with the pistol so far. He's got 3 players to deal with here at IVs. He nails the first shot and does a little bit of damage there. Looking for the one-taps, and Simple, he is as well. Who's going to get it first? My goodness. As they exchange blows, Chris J slightly comes out on top, I guess.
Look at how little damage there, because they're clipping, one's clipping the side of the server, one's clipping the side of the box.
Yeah.
So it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. They're both on 45 and 44 despite shooting 189 bullets. That's accurate, by the way. You can don't
trust
just check it up. Just review the tape, okay?
They've expended almost all their utility here with the Molotov and the smoke. Will it work out for them? I'm not really sure. It's a great shot from Oscar. Needs a bit more, though. He'll have to hide as the teammates will rotate through. Chris J opens things up now with USP, and it looks like another successful round here for mousesports. Just Edward looking to find a bit of cash here at this point, and they know exactly where he is, holding the main entrance. The CTs have the bomb.
It all seems so jovial this morning for Na'Vi. I saw Simple on the street coming back from Burger Anarchy. He was live streaming on Instagram. Happened to just throw me under the bus on that one.
He got in there?
Yeah, I was walking by, said hello, and then the next thing I knew, I was being yelled at in Ukrainian by 1,000 people in his chat. Look at this for Sunny. Oh, I thought he was going to go. He was going to go for it, but he'll just take the headshot. And then I saw Zeus coming back with Edward and their manager, and everything seemed great. They were saying that they thought it was a lovely town. They'd done some Christmas shopping. I don't think they're going to be in high spirits tonight if they don't turn this series around. We know how tilt-worthy they can be.
A bit of a wake-up call, perhaps, as well, at this point. Like you said, they won't be out of the tournament, but this really isn't good enough to lift the trophy at this point. And we will see a bit of a duel towards Ivy, but ultimately, still quite a simple procedure. Pardon the pun for mousesports there, as they will find the opening round. It will be Na'Vi in the second with no force by here, just a deagle for Simple. Will it be enough to get the bomb down? Not so sure. He actually takes a nade to the face, and that pretty much removes him from the round now. Can't really challenge in the same way if he wants to find those one digs. Objective here for Na'Vi, get that bomb down if possible. Ideally, you want to be going fast towards inside and maybe trade out a kill, get that plant down. That would be ideal. That won't be happening, though. They've got no flashes, no smokes, no armor. Just hoping mistakes are made here, but how can you really force them out if you have nothing? 4 Glocks and Deagle with just 9 HP now.
Rops still waiting down below, so a chance for them to capitalize yet again early on the mousesports side. I'm going to make a team called Rat Sports.
Like a rival organization?
Yeah. And I'm going to have Cloudy on my team.
Who's that?
The opposite of Sunny.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Speaking of, it's always sunny in bomb site B.
That's the best you got.
Well, I couldn't say Philadelphia, could I? Because copyright and all that. They'd send me a letter and I'd get sued. So 2-0 for mousesports.
Not bad. mousesports will have the 2-0 start, but it's a technical pause for Na'Vi. They will be buying up in this round. I assume it's something trivial, like the headset, something like that. It's nothing too detrimental usually. Pretty tight chip these days. We'll see in terms of the mousesports setup. They currently have 3 rifles, one of which is the AUG for Master Sticko, and 2 SMGs in the hands of Rops and Oscar. Oscar usually patrolling towards a pop dog room. Will be no problem using that SMG. Rops will play inside, and he normally is playing for 1 kill and survive. So the UMP is fine if he positions himself correctly. Where will Na'Vi decide to go, though? It looks like it is a headset issue with the noise-cancelling headphones being removed by Electronic there as the admin comes over. I assume it is just a TeamSpeak thing. And we'll see. Nice silence over there. mousesports a chance to reflect on their success so far. Oscar has been absolutely godlike, I have to say. His AWP, his clutch potential really has been realized today. And we'll see if he can continue that trend here on Train, another great map for AWPers. That's the problem, really, on this CT side, Matt. When the double AWPs come out for Christian and Oscar, we didn't see that on Nuke because it doesn't really have to come out, but it's so deadly for this squad. If it's firing efficiently, well, it's going to be difficult to overcome, and Na'Vi haven't looked that tactical today.
No, they definitely have not. They've looked anything but. The only round that impressed me in any sort of fashion was the perfect 5-man alive, 2 ops, 2 kills for each of them round on Nuke. And then it fell apart immediately after.
The next round, it all goes wrong with a clean sweep in the other direction. So far from ideal for sure. But we'll patiently wait for the next round to begin, as we said. With the 3rd round coming through, that's now technically the 4th, I guess. We'll have enough for the AKs. Definitely a TeamSpeak issue. I've seen those confused faces before.
TeamSpeak.
We're going to have to get the phones out, so maybe it is something
It's
a little bit more.
Valve authentication, perhaps.
We are waiting for the update still today.
Yeah, I can't wait to play another BR game.
Another
There's
one.
not enough of them
There's
on the
not quite
market
enough
right now, and certainly they've proved their longevity in the esports realm as well. So I completely agree with Valve taking the most integral FPS competitive game of all time and switching it to BR. Yes,
we don't know that is going to be BR.
I would agree with. You know what? Don't tell me I'm wrong, Hank.
We'll see. That's the speculation, but maybe it's all a bit of a red herring, who knows? Put in some file names and get everyone guessing, then it's just a crate with skins.
Still can't talk, so maybe it is TeamSpeak related. Maybe he's trying to fix it up.
Maybe a PC restart required, that's why they need the phones.
Either way, we'll take the time to discuss it. I don't know what the update is. If it's BR, that's a bit of fun. I don't know that that's where I would have dumped my resources if I was
I agree.
Valve, but hey, if people like it and it brings some people back to the game, why not?
That's the only reason I think it would be beneficial if it is BR, because it will get people interested in Counter-Strike in general again. I haven't played that game for a while. Always good to boost the player base if we can. If there's something fun, it's actually decent, why not? They were saying, I remember when the game first came out, I don't think many people remember this. They actually promised that a zombie mode was going to be within the game.
Oh yes, copy COD, yep.
And that never was ever released, but we'll see what is happening today, hopefully. It's now 7:30 p.m. here in Europe, so you'd assume the update will come out, and then maybe it already has. I haven't checked anything online. In the next couple of hours, everyone's on the edge of their seat. A Counter-Strike update is few and far between these days. As we continue to wait, Electronics still can't find out exactly what the problem is. Still looking confused, so I don't think we're any closer to sorting out the problem. There's Sunny. Maybe he's got an issue now as well. His headset's coming off. It's all going wrong. But if you are just joining us, final best of 3 of the day. We open things up with the mousesports pick of Nuke, which was a very one-sided affair, to say the least. Mousesports looked to be a much stronger unit today. Mousesports will take that first map, I think 16-5. And is there much gas left in Na'Vi here after losing the pistol as well? Standing on the T side of Train, really far from ideal considering the circumstances. 2-0 looks likely, but we'll see if they can bounce back. Still very, very early days. Heads are going back on for Electronic. It might be back in business here. Let's wait for the comms check to happen. There we go. Looks like we're good to go. He's not quite on the server just yet, but hopefully will be momentarily.
It's encouraging. He looks like he could make communication or talk to his teammates.
Here we go. Selfie stick cam.
It's Rushley. They put him in the game, see? That's why they brought the... See? That is where it came from. Valve said, you know what, Rushley? You can observe yourself all day long now. We'll put you in the game. Look, it's got the same nose, the same cheeky little grin, dimples just underneath of the cheekbones, and then the beard. It's absolutely Rushley.
Electronic has joined the server.
He's trying to just, yeah, look at that. He loves the beard. Stroke it. The beard, that is.
We are good to go. I have heard from production we are underway. Ladies and gents, round number 3 about to begin. Remember, it is now the bye from Na'Vi. Only 1 kill picked up for them so far. That's courtesy of Electronic. Going to need a few more here to stand a chance. But they do have the advantage here in terms of firepower. Like we said, residual SMG's been brought over for Master Sticko as well. Chris J with the AUG, though. If Na'Vi give this round up, it's going to be very difficult to recover. We call this round sort of the bonus round this time for mousesports, really. With a lesser weaponry, challenging the full buy. Rops is going to push inside and try and get himself up close with the European.
Close for Simple with Rops to take him down instead, though, so it doesn't quite work out. So just to spray in, this obviously being partially a bonus round. We can still call or get away with calling it that. Chris J gets away, I thought, with 2. It looked like he had the lineup toward Electronic. Not going to happen. Smoke off. Electronic will keep himself alive and hold off the position toward Ivy. Sunny could find an Edward, though, so it still goes back. And Sticko's going to hold the corner.
Yeah, this could be
that
smart.
Smoke is going to be just enough. Oh, he's gone by. I was going to say just enough to let him get in, but I don't know if he can push just by pushing through. Now they realize it awkwardly. As it starts to dissolve, Oscar gets the trade at the very least. That was quite awkward exchange. I think the radar suddenly revealed, hey, hang on, we're both here. And they all started firing at the same time.
Oh, my goodness. Flamey down to 15. Starting to run out of time. Both players towards Ivy, and those bullets whistle past the head of Flamey. Simple trying to do what he can here, but takes a nade to the face. Now their options very limited, but still a 2-on-2. And with plenty of time as well. Oscar trying to lock them in with the main entrance push here. Quite smart. Can't actually view if they get towards the inside area, but still information gathered nonetheless. Time really ticking away at this point. Less than 30 seconds and nowhere near getting that bomb down. If Sunny Peaks has got a guaranteed kill on Simple, maybe even the double spray down as he faces, he will find 1 and 2. Lovely play, and that's a huge round for mousesports to pick up. They actually gave away the first frag as well, so absolutely massive. They pull it back, and Lovely positioning as well on that 2 versus 2. Oscar locking them in towards main entrance, Sunny holding towards Ivy. Low HP, and they will find a 3-0. And money destroyed once again for Na'Vi. They'll have to take a partial buy at this point. So we get into round number 4. Not really seeing much at all from Na'Vi. Those 3 kills brought in by Electronic and Simple. 2 for Electronic, bringing a set up 3. That's the first frag for Simple as well towards Ivy. Looked like they had a real chance there, but it all falls apart due to the time. Didn't really have enough to work with there towards the end. That's a lovely shot from Sunny just to bring the round back in their favour. Lines are both up at the end. Hits the headshot. And we're into the next round, number 4 here. CZs, Glocks, Deagles. A bit of utility. They have 1 smoke and Molotov. Suggests to me it'll be an inside play. They'll also already smoke down the lower ramp. Molotov the connector. Plant and then have a Molotov for post plant. That would be the idea at least. You don't really want to go towards outside of just pistols. I'd say inner is where you're most likely to get the bomb down. We'll see if that's how they're thinking as well. Looks to be the case. 3 players there, but 2 towards Ivy. So they could go for the outside split. We'll see which way they're inclined.
Simple's already down Pop Dog. That's impressively quick with the lovely Candy Cane Keller CZ, but he's not going to go any further with, doesn't really have the range, so can't justify doing so. His teammates are still jostling for position as well. As Sunny fires through the window, or the wall, I should say. I've always thought it's a position, those windows. No one's ever really made it work that you could boost up from the inside, but I don't think the angles really favor it, and it's just so paper thin when you're standing there. Flash for Chris, tagged down to 62.
So still 1 smoke remaining here. You normally see with these sort of rounds, it would be a set mentality to start. We're going to do an execution here. We're going to try and get the bomb down. This has just been a default, and then they're going to use a contact play with smoke on the left-hand side of Ivy. Looks at things, they take another nade as there's the utility dump. We saw the same approach on pistol. Flashbang in, and that's going to slow them down and buy a little bit of time for Sunny as well. Here we go, Zeus to open things up. Will he be checking the corner? Might not matter. Sticko will take the aggro away. That's through the smoke. Still trying to make their way through. It's going to be another kill potentially. Electronic does go down, and that's bomb. That should be round. And indeed, it looks to be the case.
Easily controlled, so another 4-0 start for mousesports. This will give a lost round bonus in full effect to Na'Vi. They're going to need it at this point in time. It seems to be the case. Many different mouse pads. I like the design of the Season 8 Odense mouse pad.
Oh, the Christmas one?
Christmas one?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got chickens on there.
It's got a very 8-bit theme to make it feel very video gamey.
I still feel like companies are missing a trick with the custom mouse pads. Like,
Absolutely.
Zowie, the only ones that really
I have one that says
of
Matthew Sadukis driven on it. It made me feel like I was a real gamer once.
Yeah, we need some more of that. I mean, they're cool. Anyway, round 5.
Sonny gets up behind the smoke. He'll watch toward Pop Dog. It's Oscar. Fires in, despite being team flash to try and catch off Na'Vi's, anyone from Na'Vi at the top of the ramp. Counter smoke down from Edward. See if he can back himself up with it. Romps plays between the 2 trains, not Taz side. Call that the short side. Left side, strong side. Remember the Titans?
I haven't seen it, so no.
Oh, well, there you go.
It sounded good.
Rops gets 2. It was not bad. Let's take down both kills convincingly and then rotates off with only fractional damage against him, but that changes as Zeus comes in from the heavens along upper. Gets where the bomb train needs to try and secure the position. In fact, the bomb's fighting forward. It's in the hands of Simple. Simple's going to get 2 kills on this, but he needs to run it around, and I think they're aware that there's a flank coming in. He's caught. Bomb goes down. If he could have got away the way, it would have been a brilliant play, but it's Sticko instead that comes down the ramp, and it's 5-0 mousesports.
Didn't think he stood a chance on the repeat there from Zeus. It was looking so good. It was a 3 versus 2. They managed to find those first 2 kills. They're not quite assertive enough of where they wanted to go. They're a little bit disjointed, and perfect flank coming there from Sticko. With the Orc, didn't even use the scope. Managed to take down Simple with a nice clean couple of taps, and then adjusts accordingly, reading the positioning of Zeus there to win a huge round. That's Ross doing great work. He's the inside anchor. 2 frags is more than enough for his role, as they will purchase up slightly into this round. Maximum loss bonus still in full effect. They get Deagles, 1 AK for Edward, a scout for Simple, and Electronic on the CZ. mousesports again running away with his first half. Exactly what happened on Nuke. They were 8-0 up. Push in full control of Ivy. Is this scout really going to be the entrance to the game they're looking for. Money not out of control just yet for mousesports. You can see Oscar, the investment still down to $500, but Sunny just shy of 7K. If they win this round cleanly, that could be a massive problem for Na'Vi going forward. But good grenade. Simple swallows that down to 23 HP. Makes him a lot less dangerous. Or maybe it doesn't.
Not when he hits shots like that. Oscar gets absolutely wrecked at the hitch. Rops wants to move up a little bit closer. I don't think he's aware they've already transitioned into the site. Spots it now, takes down Zeus. Sunny's also found Simple Flamey. Trying to compensate for that. Gets found and dealt with immediately. Electronic with the CZ, Edward with the AK. It's not A-OK, as they're still down 4 against 2. A lot of movement for Edward as he takes over the inner side. He can actually rotate back through Z connector and if he wants and be a bit of a nuisance, but with Electronic gone, I think attention will slowly turn to other portions of the map and Edward will be revealed. The fact that he has an AK with 24 seconds as well, I think suggests he would like to keep that. Head armor to go with it. So a good bit of kit.
10 seconds.
This has been a horrible series so far for Na'Vi.
For spectators as well, they haven't really showed up at all. mousesports great CS, but haven't really had to break a sweat at all. Na'Vi just don't look themselves today. That means Edward gets no cash, but he does save the AK. He can afford a smoke and a flash, and a decoy, I guess, if he really wants it. And they will buy. Simple bring out the AWP for the first time. 6-0. No double AWP yet. They haven't really had a chance to bring one out on the mousesports side. Haven't lost enough players, to be honest. Sunny with 12 kills, 1 death. Simple, lovely shot outside. Took down the AWPer. Still wasn't quite enough, though. Sunny just looks way too sharp today with that M4. And you can see a very dejected. No, but that says it already, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's not exactly the emotion I would have expected coming out of Zeus, but he is flabbergasted. And perhaps slightly resigned to the situation. This is our only best of 3 today. I shouldn't say that, our last best of 3 today. We've had 3, but our only one remaining, and that seems shocking that it's going in this fashion and so quickly as well.
And such a star-studded server as well. You'd expect an absolute barn burner of a game.
Absolutely. Just to give note, there is other games going on at the same time right now. Hellraisers versus G2. First map actually went the way of the Frenchmen.
Really?
Second one's going away from them. It's 13-5 currently for Hellraisers. So it was Dust 2 first at 16-13. This one, Inferno, not looking quite so hot.
Just to note, that's the old G2 roster, not the new one with the young guns.
Correct.
So it's a final showing of Smiths in existence, maybe ever at this level of CS. Everyone being completely honest.
Yeah, and there are 2 players there. Oh, Oscar, that's very quick. The 2 players they're bringing in are currently playing for 3D Max against Virtus Pro in the Mountain Dew League playoffs.
Well, there we have it. That's the update on the B stream. Back to this one, an opening pick. And the double AWPs are out to play now. It's going to be Oscar to open things up. A smoke comes in from Na'Vi, but what they really do with this, they got the bomb isolated towards the B side. That's in the back of Flamey. There's 3 teammates towards Ivy right now, and they're a man down. A bit of utility left, but you can see this is all quite in vain. It's throwing a flashbang as a full battler. It's an inside play. They know Robs plays in it by himself, but that might not be the case for long. Got to boost Chris J up, and I would say that entitles him to rotate a player over. Great position to be in. You're calm. You've got an advantage. Chris J boosted up like that. Means you don't really need players up close. And that means that Oscar rotates in to help Robs out inside. That makes this position deadly. They've got no smokes now, Matt. How do they even get down low? They're just going to flash and push through, or just literally run down with nothing? It looks like it's the latter. This is just this is nothing. They shouldn't get really anything out of this. They're lucky to even have players alive at this point. It will be simple to go down, and maybe their only hope of winning the round as well.
Rob, so calculated. Knew exactly where Simple would be jumping back to. He gets the assist for Chris.
It's so poor from Na'Vi. I appreciate they had nothing to work with there, but that's just like, oh, let's just go for it, see what happens. That's pretty much the rationale they had there.
I think so. I mean, the fact that we saw Zeus just shaking his head and laughing it off just says to me that, like I say, resigned. That's the only word that comes to mind. They've thrown in the towel almost.
Well, they get the bomb down. It means another buy, but still, it means those buys have AKs and basic utility. We're not getting an AWP out from this unless Flamey wants to really buy one of the 5K he has.
And then who does he give it to? Probably Simple, because he's not going to run it. He's not going to run Glass Cannon.
Well, that was the initial pick, and like I said, just nothing at all. They had no smoke. I appreciate that, but they didn't even flash it. Not even a right-click flash to push an AWP back, potentially. They were lucky to even get close to the bomb site. But there it is, 7-0. Na'Vi on their day sometimes look unstoppable, but this really isn't it. I feel like they're a team that doesn't necessarily work hard enough in their theory side of the game. When they do have these sort of days, they don't have a lot to fall back on. No, we haven't really seen a detailed execution on Nuke or this map. It's all been defaults with very basic utility usage. No fakes and no real advantages. But like I said, still early on in this one. You can get 4 rounds on the T side of train and still recover. Simple's in a good position, but not for long. That's him by himself. There's no backup, there's no smokes, there's no flashes. That's Simple just trying to push his way through by himself. And that's not really a strategy that's sustainable. Yes, Simple is a god, but if he does go down, what do you do now? You've got 3 smokes, and how are you really going to use them? No one's together. They're all spread out. The bomb's down in T-spawn. I don't even know what you'd call at this point. I think they're just hoping someone's going to get a pick somehow, but that's going to flush Edward out, now follow him up with a kill. Just absolutely diabolical at this point.
Yeah, that's amazing. Electronic, though, he's got something up his sleeve. 2 on 3. Zeus gone. Electronic needs an ace. He's got the only 2 kills so far in this round. He's got a third as well as he finds Sunny, but standing in the same spot, he's got to be careful because Pop Dog drops. He can still work out, and I think figured that out quite quickly. He could just barely see his feet. Fired, and it's 8-0 mousesports.
Timeout, Na'Vi.
Yep.
Start focusing on the... Let's do some executions off the bat. Default's fine at the start.
They haven't called one, by the way.
Let's just start working together as a unit. The defaults are not getting these picks. It ain't working. Simple can't just walk around and kill a team like mousesports when they're playing like this. They're too efficient, got everything covered, and they're not missing many shots.
I mean, again, we mentioned this series, but a slow start against Order yesterday. A team from Australia with a few names that are recognizable and some that are quite new, giving them a bit of a run. I mean, what's going on with them at this tournament? Because this is not what you'd expect from Na'Vi. And this is the kind of stuff that will make them start to pick at each other internally as well.
Well, they go towards Ivy, a bit more pace this time. There's an opening pick, Flamey. Out of Ivy at least, a bit more promising here, at least to begin with, but unless this kill comes in with the CZ, it's still going to have the same output. It's going to be Simple left in a 4 versus 1, with almost no chance of planting the bomb.
Everyone on mousesports is going to be so confident as well to take aggressive angles, to hold and catch out kills with sprays, doing the unorthodox at this point in time, because Na'Vi's just making it easy at this point, which, yeah, you're right, maybe call it something. Slow things down for that matter. Simple, good shot at the Chris J, but he's the only one left. Sunny knows exactly where he is, fires through the box, 9-0. At this point, it feels like we're just going through the motions.
Well.
And I think Na'Vi's getting motion sickness. Kind of like Trace when he drove to Odense with you. I heard he was very sick the whole time.
Sick. Rops isn't bad at all today. Really looking quite sharp along with Sunny. That's the problem. Those 2 riflers, if they're both playing at their max, like, you're going to struggle without strategies to pull them apart. And so far, I just haven't seen that. Let's see all the players. Electronic out by himself. I appreciate them changing the pace, but again, it's a solo player thrown out of main entrance with no backup, really. A couple of smokes. As they lose that first pick again, another 5 on 4. Such a difficult position to recover from. And now they have 1 smoke and a couple of flashes. I'm really interested to see what they can do with this. Simple still alive. Does make things deadly, as you see. Sticker goes down. Flamey in a good position at E-box as well. Still a lot of work to do here. Need to get close to that bomb site.
That's not going to get them any closer, is it? Oscar just shuts the door. Firing out nails to put in the coffin. He's got 2 of them. It's down to Edward and Zeus.
Bombs down T-spawn.
It's pretty much where the round went down, in my opinion. As soon as they left the spawn, things weren't going well.
Yeah.
Zeus gone as well. Sunny just holding off in the corner. Take your pick. Op, M4, what would you
What do you
like?
want, boys?
AK in the ground as well.
Whatever you need, we've got it. This could be a 16-0. The way we see them
I wasn't going to say it, but yes, it could be.
Like, just the way they look off on camera when we see them, it's just like, wow, we've got nothing, you know?
Not an elimination match, thank God, from Na'Vi's perspective.
Technical timeout on the Na'Vi side, just to add insult to injury as well. Headset's not working again.
Yep.
But his stick out.
That or someone's just pretending not to hear them.
Yeah.
I think his headset's broken. No, he's just not talking
Not
to
saying
you.
anything. Oscar. Against the, I see what they're trying to do there. They're trying to send the stars out as quickly as they can. Electronic, just see what you can do. But unless he's playing lights out Counter-Strike, that isn't going to be, as again, that word, sustainable. You need something to fall back on here. We need an execution. We need something that's going to really silence the orb of Oscar, because you saw it in the replay there that there's no smokes down. He's not flashed. He's just killing players at main. Pop Dog, there's no trades.
Doing whatever he wants, really.
Yeah, it's like, just do the default at the start, sure, but let's execute from it. Let's get some basic control at Ivy. Let's try and get the end of that. Then we can fall back to the smokes and see what's available to us. Anything, really. Even in inside execution off the bat. Just do it at the very beginning of the round. You know Rops plays that alone.
It blows my mind that Oscar only has 6 kills, because it seems like he's winning every single op duel that he's in at 6-3 right now, but it's Sunny just all over the place. Saw him holding B, top of the train. We've seen him now pushed up toward A main. We've seen him cover from Pop Dog.
Bomb's been planted once, just to note.
That's an excruciatingly painful point to bring up.
Yeah, so that this goes back at the point, like the fact I'm really focusing on the strategy side of this. Not too worried about the firepower. Na'Vi will always have that, I think.
Edward's just laughing it off at this point, like...
Just like,
boys,
well, boys.
Well, it's good that we got the Christmas shopping done, all right? Because it's not going well. The paycheck's not going to increase if we don't start winning.
Well, I don't care.
Oh, he doesn't care.
What can I do? Just play?
Well, sounds like there's an opportunity to just play there. Not really sure what the issue is at this point. Let me see if we can find out. We're just working on that right now, see if we can get some intel as to what's going on. It seems like the Na'Vi side have had a few issues today. More ways than one. There's,
Trying to listen in a little bit and see if I can hear what's going on. Take advantage of this feature while we've got it. But no resolve as of yet. Edward doesn't look too fussed.
Okay, sounds like a network issue.
Oh, is it? Cable was loose. Okay.
The network cable is broken. So that hopefully is a quick fix. I'm sure we've got a flight case full of them.
There's about 17 miles of cable ran in this place since we've gotten here, and that's always the case at every event. It's astonishing how much cable there is laid out across floors, over rafters, through stages, behind PCs. Just for example, right now, there's a ton of cable beside me at the analyst desk. So yeah, I'm sure there's one spare. I'm sure we can find one somewhere, right? I'm going to take a picture of it for my Instagram just to show off the cable. You can follow me at Sidgist. Not selling out, just trying to fill you in.
Well, Matthew, while we wait for this, it could be a little while. We've got a lovely video to have a look at while we sort this issue out.
Is it about you?
No, I'm not sure what it's about, to be honest, but take it away, guys. Let's see what we've got.
One thing that we probably want to work a little bit more on is maybe to start updating some of our strategies, or like start updating the way we approach the game.
If I had more time, I think maybe I could work on some super crazy strategies. Sometimes Counter-Strike has this possibility to be a very cool game in terms of bringing something that no one ever saw yet, but at the same time you don't want to risk a very super important match trying to bring something that fancy.
We just want to improve our map pool even more and see if we can figure out what maps are the best for us and what are the worst, and then improve the worst ones.
Like discipline, I guess. Discipline's like one of those things where it's like, you need to make sure that you're showing up on time. You need to make sure that when you're playing your practice games, you're doing it the same way that you would approach a match. I've lost a lot of hours of my life waiting for my teammates to show up. You can put that in there.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we didn't get the time to practice as we made roster changes. This tournament will be with Extended Smith on the side, so it's a special context. So we didn't really have the time to prepare this tournament.
So strategically for myself individually, I wish I improved on my roles, because there's certain bomb sites on maps that I still kind of don't know how to play, which is really bad because I've been playing on the team for so long. So I tried to knuckle down on that for the past few months, and I feel like I've been improving a little bit. And as a team overall, I feel like we're improving a lot. We're all understanding our roles, we're getting better playing like individually mid-round and stuff. So I think we're in a good course to being a really good team.
Well, there we go, Matthew.
How would you improve yourself, Henry?
Probably the same way they would describe. I don't have enough time to really work on my craft because we're doing this so often.
It didn't have to be Counter-Strike related.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a fitness challenge.
Maybe a fitness challenge. The dad bod really has gone out of fashion this year. I think 2016 was really prevailing and looking great, but it hasn't carried on. That trend died out. So
it's a shame. I was hoping that trend would last forever. To be complete, you know, just fashionably fashionable.
That's
I do want to say that Kenny looks dead inside. when he was talking in that interview. Just no energy. Yeah, we're just playing with our other team. You know, we did a stand-in and didn't have time to... Like, Jesus, man!
Yeah.
You're not dead yet, Kenny.
Neither is Navi, but looked at things. An opening pick, though, Matt. And will be Edward to open things up. But again, before the smoke screen deployed, Oscar, Chris J, this is what we expected with a double orb setup. But we always know Flamey and Simple, they're going to be deadly. They have got a disadvantage here, even more so with that positioning from Rops. The fact he's got it all the way towards Poplar. He's coming behind them as well. This round should be over. He goes down, though. Good awareness. This could be the first on the board for Navi. There it is, Simple. Brings it to a 2 versus 1. Look at this position, though. Oscar, this is actually looking quite exciting. He just needs 1 kill to really give himself a fighting chance here.
Oscar, absolutely, you're right, just needs the 1 kill, and there's so much pressure on the line. Clutch or cut, because this is the shutout. Simple on top of the bomb train out of 22 is absolutely susceptible to going down against this Deagle. And, oh, Deagle can't find the shots, goes back out, does get Simple. Flamey has to get off the bomb, 31 HP. Off shot doesn't land, 3 kills for Oscar. Flashes himself back out with 37 seconds. He's going to go down the ladder as well. Flamey's already planted the bomb, and I think he's aware that he's on the ground. Swings out, and the shutout is broken. The timeout has worked, although it was technical. It's brought Navi back into it. Sort of.
There we go. It does work out. That really doesn't bode well. The fact you're laughing, the fact we actually got around, really does suggest you feel real dire straits. But there we go. Reset potential now. Comes down to the 1 versus 1. Plenty of cash for the CTs, but this is the start of a comeback from Navi. Time will tell. Oscar with a couple of kills. Gets 1 kill on that 1 versus 2. Couldn't quite finish things off, though. A shot. He's definitely capable of hitting that, but not quite on the money this time. As we get to a single orb setup this time, it will be Orgs for Sticko and Chris J.
Zeus checking above the smoke. EMP. Toward B. A little bit more purpose in their step, it seems, in this round. I'll say it, Hank. I'll build the narrative. If they can get to 5, chance. Not going to happen with a flash like that, but Electronic able to trade it back. Rops goes down. Oscar still trying to find a counter pick to the entry. Smokes up high and already in down low. Simple's got the angle instead, but Sunny fires back into him with the M4. Electronic trying to dance where he can, but Chris already wins out that exchange. Bomb was planted in all of this. So there's still a chance they could win this round, but it's going to be very difficult. And I'm not sure what Flamey was doing in that matter, because if he was expecting them to wrap the long train, he already had his teammate on ramp, so there's so many other options he could have covered off. It's going to be another round back to mousesports and a reset against Navi.
Bomb down, though. They've got about 3K per player. That really is a rough ride for Navi at this point. They're like a force buy. But this scoreline, I'd say you might just have to take this one on the chin. They're going to buy up, though. An AK for Simple's already come out straight away. Didn't even take a timeout. Just straight up purchase into it. I respect it, though. They need the rounds. Is it just going to be a simple AK and nothing else? That's really what started that kind of methodology, I would say. A lot of teams replicating with their style players. But it will just be the 1 AK, Simple fully invested. Problem is he'll only get $1,900 next round if it goes wrong. So he'll be pistol.
Chris just waiting for an opportunity. Doesn't want to go overcommitting on this. Go overcommitting. That's an activity. There's a lot of crosses. Sunny. This man. There's no stopping him. He's got 2 more. Chris does win against Simple. Patience pays off. What's Sunny at now?
Must be close to 20. 22.
22?
Yeah.
Woo.
He's killing
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Exactly.
Little Taylor Swift for you?
That's my favorite one.
I know she's your Woman Crush Wednesday.
At this point, this is nightmare mode for Navi. You've just lost the only thing you had going for you, which was Simple and an AK. Did nothing. It's a 5 versus 2. This round is obviously going to go in favor of mousesports, and then you're going to have 4 AKs next round instead of 5. And your star player is going to be with just Deagle armor, I'd imagine.
Sticko does spot out where Zeus is, gets behind the server, tries to pick up a gun. Oh, and look at the awareness. You think you're going to keep me occupied? Not a chance. Electronic down. Zeus has already figured out 12-1 in a 1 versus 5. Zeus can't even find Sticko, and this series is looking rather lost.
Yeah, 1900 on Simple. The rest of them get AKs, as we said. Round 14. It just feels that this is the 2-0 locked in, unfortunately. Sometimes the way this game goes, huge matchup on the paper, and then one of the teams just doesn't turn up at all. Fair play, though. You've got to enjoy what mousesports are presenting. All of their players look sharp. It's been a turbulent year for them. A lot of success at the start, lots of grand finals, lots of trophies as well. And then with the roster change, actually found an ESL 1 New York victory. But Sticker coming back in has certainly made things a little bit more complicated. Zeus will find the opening pick. Not bad. Takes down Oscar, who was trying to get up close and personal, I think, with the AWP. That's a bit of a calling card of his in the Pop Dog room. Sunny probably doesn't fancy the AWP. He's got the AK. Oh, he spots a player there. Oh, Simple.
That's just tremendous. Sunny just looked completely outclassing Simple in that position. That AWP was down. Molotov nearly got a chance at Sunny, and he turns around and just punches him square in the nose.
Well, it's up to Electronic now. Considered one of the star players of this team as well, and for good reason. There's a nice headshot on Sticko. Can he convert to any more, though? Great positioning from Robs. Oh, my goodness. An absolute bloodbath here.
Yeah, look how concise that was. Both times he didn't expect anyone to be in those positions, and he still absolutely nails them with the aim. Sunny, that's, what, 25, 26? I can't keep track. 24 kills in 14 rounds.
Yeah, getting 20 in one half is considered, like, unreal. So if he hits 25, like, it really goes to show how good mousesports are looking today. Top fragger for Na'Vi is Electronic on 8. Wow. As you can see there. Bottom frag is Zeus in 3 and 14, Edward 3 and 13.
That means Sunny has 3 times as many kills as the top fragger on the other team. That's ridiculous. In fact,
go on, say
do the math. Can you bring it up again? I can't see, your monitor's too far away. 10, 3, 4, 7, 8, 8 on 7. Yeah, he's actually got 1 less kill than the other team combined.
That's pretty disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, they have 25, and he has 24.
There's 1 more to match the entire total.
Ridiculous.
They've bought up at this round, by the way. Edward gets 1.
Yeah, Sticko's going to trade him back. Oscar waiting with the AWP at corner. If anyone dare try and go toward B. Incendiary down. Round 15 of the half. Rops will take out Flamey as well. Sticko's going to back away. Flashbang out the other side. Rops has Electronic. Sticko still waiting at the train. Simple with a shotgun could go through and potentially do some damage, but winning the round at this point looks extremely unlikely. They're going to pass each other in the smoke, actually, which I think favors, well, Rops, apparently. I was going to say Sticko because he's aware of that possibility. Nonetheless, 14-1 for mousesports on train. This is Na'Vi's choice. We were building Nuke up against them as if to say, it's fine, it's Nuke. You started out slowly and then just never came back into it. Well, that all changes now.
Well then, 14-1. Really doesn't excite us at all. Lovely mouse there for Flaming. But there's the frags. We built it up before we got to halftime. You can see it's an absolute nightmare for Na'Vi. 3 players pretty much non-existent on the T side. That's going to be Zeus, Flamey, and Edward. Electronic and Simple did what they could, but still pretty poor numbers by their standards. And mousesports, no one really dropping off there. You can see everyone's finding all the kills. The fact that Sunny is just, what, a couple of frags off their combined total. Really does say it all. 14-1 is almost certainly going to be a 2-0 conversion here. If they get the pistol on the CD side, they might be able to get maybe 5 rounds in a row. Like I said, mousesports struggle to close games sometimes, but this, I can't even imagine a world where they give this one up.
The stairs, down the ladder for Oscar, Crouch. They're all going to go down the ladder. And it's Edward waiting inside of the site. Edward, good shot of the first. Drop down, Sticko. Flamey's going to follow it up. There's a chance for Na'Vi to win out this pistol. Flames at the feet of Flamey, and he's whittled down so low by that eventually countered out by 1 bullet from Oscar. 2 versus 3. Bomb not planted, however, as Na'Vi can guard that from many different positions, 2 of which are from above. 1 on top of the bomb train itself, the other in control room. Simple, meanwhile, back out toward Ivy, and it's all on to Oscar.
Here we go then. A chance for Na'Vi to at least get some rounds on the board, make this a little bit more competitive. As there's no bomb planted, we'll see presumably a full eco here from mousesports. No chance of celebration just yet, I'm afraid, on the Na'Vi side of things, but I agree with Electronic there. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Still looking like they're quite high spirits about the whole thing. So full eco. PT50s. I'd assume mousesports go inside, like most teams would. We'll see, though. Setting 2 towards Ivy. Bomber T steps for now. Uses the timeout to talk about the next round as well. 5 PT50s up against it now. No rifles bought at all for Na'Vi, just to note. That surprises me. On a map like Train, you know the AKs come out in the third. Oof, that's a brave call to make. Because how do you really justify winning the round when you're 14-2 down? You won't have a single rifle potentially in that first round.
Double drop play, it works out. Sticko's able to trade off Simple, the SMG, not able to find both kills. Electronic at range. He's holding on to the the MP5, so to his headboard, and he's actually on the chase. The chase that's going to yield a kill immediately is Chris J not ready for him to be positioned there whatsoever. And now the secretary takes up position at the desk. An appointment by Sticko, and the doctor's busy. I just kind of like to make stories up as I cast, Henry.
I like that. I appreciate it.
You like to see the doctor?
Depends which one.
Any of them. What's the term for that? As Electronic gets behind, there's a term for people that go to see the doctor. I don't like joy for it. I forget what it is. Someone will know.
Well, hypochondria is someone who thinks they're all the time, but
yes.
That's not what you mean. I don't know.
No.
Tweet us if you know.
Tweet us if you know.
Bit of crowd interaction there.
Yes.
AK's coming out, like we said, a distinct lack of rifles there, but 2 players going down will allow them to purchase up a couple of them, and all actually comes off a Simple way, more money than I expect them to have. So there we go. So Simple will hold the AWP here. Will this be enough? I'd suggest it probably will be. You can see right away, mousesports have got their approach. This is what I didn't really see from Na'Vi, like initial smokes being thrown, an objective. They were just running very slow, basic defaults at the start of each round. Sports, though, not giving up much too quickly. Holding up at the start. 1 round away from series point. Gonna struggle, though. Chris J goes down first, but a nice reply from Sticko. 4 and 4.
Oscar smoked down. Electronic will get inside of the cubby instead. He's got the MP5 silenced up. Oscar. He's going to try and pursue that, but a smoke down makes that a little bit difficult. Wouldn't you say, Hank?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
But he's going to go through it anyway, and to his luck, they've already given up the cubby position. Oh, Edward does spot him. Good shoulder peek. And Oscar falls as a result of it. That could have easily been him walking out and getting caught off because they just had that position with the smoke in place.
Well, here we go then.
Ooh, just as he unscoped.
Smoke's not going to do too much for them. You can see Simple got a guaranteed frag there, not quite. Actually takes quite a lot of damage and has to reposition.
Goes back for it, and Rops still has that. Smoke deep after the first kill as well. They can start to push toward the bomb. 3 on 3. Feet show, though, and Zeus takes out Sticko. They're looking a little more comfortable on the CT side as the pace is being slowed considerably. Watch the flank as well in from A-Main. Sonny's got to hold it off. Can't quite do. Oh, he's got Zeus instead, though. He's got aggressive. So he can actually take the bomb and run this to B. I think Electronic's become aware of that fact. He's going to try and get to Pop Dog. But Sonny, knowing well that he... Oh, okay. Okay. I thought he would go safe side, knowing that he was going to have to rotate from A. Instead, he goes default. This could catch him out because immediately Electronic's behind him, and he didn't even consider it.
Well, there we go. He'll have to go recover the AWP. But he's got plenty of time to do so. No problem in that regard. And it's another round on the board for Na'Vi. Bomb planted, though. Lost bonus getting to 4th stage after this. So we'll see whether it's enough to get a bye together. It'll be enough, whether they want to take it with a few compromises yet to be seen. But the fact they got it down to 1v1 there, they might just be tempted to do so. They've got enough for AK armor and maybe a few smokes. Na'Vi pretty comfortable in their finances. They'll be able to work around the saved AWP. It's good that Electronic went to pick that up. Smart thinking on his feet. Sonny, great effort there. They will be buying up into this. 27 and 6 for him now.
Yeah, I thought Sonny might just plant safe side, even if he wasn't aware of the flank, but aware of the rotation. It gives him a chance to back out and cover all angles. It's a bit surprising that he went default and didn't even think about the flank, but still a very solid game from him so far. 3 straight for Na'Vi on this half. Edward, that's too easy. Rops just gave that to him.
Yeah, he really did, didn't he? That was weird.
I think he tried to go down and catch the ladder. Sometimes people mess that up because it's like fractional if you touch the ladder or not, but either way, it was surprising. Oscar, good entry, however. We'll find Flamey. It's Electronic that they have to worry about at the Electronic box, but Chris, he comes out and he takes him down. Sonny's going to follow it up. Simple's gone. It's just Zeus remaining. It should be map point and series point for mousesports.
I think it is. Quite the anticlimactic finish there with the opening pick. He thought with the 5 on 4 they might be able to capitalize, but Oscar sneaks out of the Ivy position. mows them down. There's a reason the mousesports board up into that one. If they could win this round, not only to get series point, but they absolutely destroy the cash of Na'Vi. They'll get $1,400 per player here. Zeus has to save his M4. Can't even think about going for exits here, which he will do. It's holding towards CT steps right now. 15-5. One more round will do it for mousesports. What a clinical victory this will be if they can close it out at 16-4. There we go, Zeus. Hold on to his M4. That's all about Oscar sneaking out. They had no idea. Took their eyes off that position for a second. He gets out, punishes them. He almost looked like a CT for a second. In fact, they had no idea, as they'll buy up everything they can. Have to at this point. Zeus even did that double kill in the AWP in the previous round. They won. Still only on 5. Flamey 5 as well. Simple not having one of his godlike performances. The fact that Edwards above him in this sort of game really is quite worrying for their future in the tournament. I don't think the analysts will be very excited for their prospects going forward. This really has been one of the most disappointing showings we've seen them from this year.
Yeah, this is underwhelming to a new degree, a new level. Simple with a shotgun down below the pop dog. Isn't going to have any company yet. Could flank fast with that gun. Certainly that potential. If they commit to B and he rushes the ladder and no one's considerate of it, they absolutely could make them pay. And he might, because Oscar's gotten 1 kill. So far, no one watching the flank, but they're still at the top of the stairs. Simple swings in just to make sure no one's at the hall, but he's got to actually make a move toward B with that shotgun, or they're going to get farther and farther away from his position. Electronic forced off by Flames. So too is Flamey, and he'll have to wait towards the connector.
What do you do now, though? It is absolutely done for your Na'Vi. You're in smokes, you're trying to come through, you got a shotgun on the flank.
It's too slow. The flank's already covered. Sticko's already back there. Simple had to go almost immediately with that gun. Still manages the kill, but now the secret's up. They know exactly where he is. And it's a 1 versus 4. Sprays in for another on Oscar. Maybe he was just waiting for this stage to be his, but he's caught off. All 3 staring at the ramp. 16-4 and 16-6, the 2 respective scores over Train and Nuke. 10 rounds only for Na'Vi.
Yeah, as I said, I'll just reiterate that point. That's got to be one of the most disappointing series we've seen from Na'Vi this year. Nothing to really write home about. The players weren't performing, the strategies weren't there. mousesports maybe should focus more on the positives. They look like they're ready to take another trophy this year. Right at the end, this is looking like a real solid squad that could do some damage in the tournament. This is mousesports we saw at the beginning of the year. It seems like finally it's coming together with Sticko back in the roster. And if they keep that up, God help the rest of the teams, because they're looking sharp.
It's a bit surprising. Even mousesports didn't look jubilant with that win. They just kind of, yeah, okay, fair enough. Move on. That was easy, I guess. So quick little high fives, handshakes to the other side, and you can see Zeus's expression just wants to get the heck out of this building, I think, at this point.
I think that might be correct. Remember, they're not out of the tournament, but still that does not bode well for their future. We'll see what they can do going down the line, but I don't think many analysts will be that excited what they can do going forward.
We've got a few of them. We can find out. Should we send it over?
Let's do it.
Thanks, guys. You know, I think the real story here is that it's always sunny in Odense, and in this case, the lights have gone out over Natus Vincere. Not a pretty showing here, and we're going to see that one wrap up pretty quickly there on the train. They said it best over there on the caster side, where it was 10 rounds total, and my God, it wasn't pretty.
That was one of those where you just blinked and you missed it.
Look, I think when they brought up the stats at halftime and the 2 AWPers on the team, Christian and Oscar, are down the bottom of the kills, and you have the riflers who are all stacked towards the top with like 10 plus frags more than your AWPers. A map like Train is normally where territory is taken. The AWPers are the one who are doing the aggressive picks and actually trying to seek out those opening kills for the CT side. There was no trouble at all on that defense. They were just locking it down all across the map, and it was, I don't know what to say.
They were getting it done, Chad.
It was like, I want to say 11, 12 rounds in, the first time I saw Na'Vi have a build-up play where they took over the ladder and then try to attack out of bomb side simultaneously from connector and from the ladder. And that actually looked pretty good early on. They tried it well, but then they just forgot that they actually had to hit the bomb site.
In this series, that's right, 44 frags, 17 deaths, 93.4 ADR for Mr. Sunny. And you know what? Rops isn't that far behind him.
Yeah.
Completely fair. But if you start to look over at the Na'Vi side, what's the diagnosis, Chad?
Look, I think when I was watching them, and I prefaced it with the fact that they've probably done a boot camp, right? And they're going to come in here. If they're picking Train, there's a reason for it. Well, what Na'Vi historically do early on trainers do inside hits within the first couple of rounds. We actually have a clip here where we can look at that, and I think mousesports were well aware of this. We're on the 5th round right now. On the 2 previous rounds where Na'Vi had guns, the same situation of 2 players being inside, actually more disruptive than what you can see right now, but that was the case. We're at a minute 16 left on the clock, and there's 2 players who have already rotated into that inner bomb site, or 2 players on the scene ready to stop this Na'Vi attack. So we can play this out. It means that Ro2, who is the man I highlighted right here, can just continue his focus towards the low ramp, and Oscar has his high ramp, so that means he has trust in his teammate, and he can just take a duel when normally the inside player has to pivot. So you can see here, he's up on top of the train, dodges the flashes, 2 simple kills, and then from here, this is kind of the weird part. Na'Vi actually just take a lot of fights. They don't actually plant the bomb. Look, there's the... Oh, here we go. We're having a couple of technical difficulties here, but the point is
smarter the piece of equipment.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But the fact of the matter is Na'Vi don't plant straight away, and they just keep taking duels. So as this plays out, we can see that the players are just taking fights and they're not planning. What is actually really unique is they probably should have won this round, but they wanted to be a little bit tricky. They wanted to push and rotate towards the outer bomb site. You can see the bomb is right here, and Stiko is actually going to, on the flank, come down low ramp and get 2 cheeky kills in that regard. So we can keep playing this out. You can see it right now. 1 and 2, easy as that with the AUG and the scope. And that's just a round that probably should have been Na'Vi's, but fell apart because they didn't go for a plant. They were trying to maybe think 1 or 2 steps ahead, and Stiko got really lucky with that timing.
That was just dropping the ocean in the big picture, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what a game.
I mean, there's something to be said there about what Na'Vi looks like right now. There's definitely something going on there. We can't quite put our fingers on that, but what we will do is put our fingers down to an interview where we have James Banks on the sidelines catching up with that of mousesports.
mousesports take down Na'Vi 2-0 in a more than convincing and dominant fashion, and this man led the charge, especially on train. But just bringing it back, just you guys seem to be in better shape than you guys were in New York, better shape than we've seen you recently, and obviously the change has been Stiko, but is this just the whole team atmosphere better?
I don't know about the atmosphere. Like, everything is fine now, and everything just feel that it clicked. So I don't know. I mean, Na'Vi didn't obviously be on their A level, and simply like shotgun in 5 rounds or so in train, and so that just tells that something was wrong on their side. But yeah, I'm pretty happy how it turned out.
Well, it certainly turned out well for you. You guys were just kind of mad fragging it up. What was your preparation like, though? Was it just, do you think it's more down to just individual performances than whole anti-stratting preparation and stuff like that? Because it certainly seemed like Na'Vi didn't really have their game together.
Yeah, I mean, I think the preparation for all the team are pretty much same, except Australis right now. That everybody kind of know how other teams play at top level, but. I think that we did a good stuff before this event online. We widened our playbook a lot, so we are just really confident in most of the maps right now.
Now, how confident are you to face MIBR, who will be your next opponent?
We're pretty confident. I mean, we lost to them like last 3 or 4 matches, so we just want the revenge.
Hey, revenge is always best served up by you guys, that's for sure. Let's see if you can do it. Thank you so much, Sonny. Stunner, Chad, Ro2, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I would have to say they probably don't feel too tested. In fact, they probably feel a little cheated of a pretty close game today. Ro2, what is your take on this Finn?
It's good to see him saying more than,
yeah.
First of all.
He had a bit of emotion.
No, the good thing for him, obviously, is that he's felt himself. I think it's shown on the server. He's definitely not played up to his potential as of recently. I think he had his first negative scoreline events actually just a couple months, within a couple months, and now he's actually showing that he can finally play up to that potential that we know. So, yeah, it's just great to see. Obviously, not tested at all. Na'Vi just didn't even show up today.
Nah, not even that. But they're not out. They're just down a little bit. And if we take a look at the brackets, you'll start to understand that they're still here with us, in large part, but battling through the lower brackets. Now they're going to have to face up against Sharks. And, well, I guess the winner of that's going to go on to play the winner of Energy and Ghost. However, over here on this bracket, what do we got?
Yeah, we actually still have the game between Hellraisers and G2 going on right now. The winner of that will be facing Renegades tomorrow for the spot in the arena. That's on live.proleague.com if you want to check all of that action out. It's on the B stream. But so far, the only real upset result, in my mind, is Big losing to Renegades today.
Yes, and just to furthermore push that point of Hellraisers G2, it is currently 6-2, and G2 are on their T side with the lead right now. So it should be an interesting one there on Overpass. And, well, that train will continue to go on by itself. Let's go ahead and begin to kind of digest and maybe digress from what all we saw today and things that are sticking out.
Surprisingly, right, that we had the MIBR NRG game, which was really exciting. I thought that the Na'Vi mousesports one would have delivered in the same fashion.
Exactly, that's what I said in the top of the day. These were the two games that we were all expecting to be the bangers, but unfortunately, all we really got was the MIBR NRG game, which did contribute.
We got a bang and then a fizzle. That's, I think, the way that one definitely played out. And North as well. I even forgot this happened. They've been knocked out of the tournament, not going to play in front of the home crowd. You saw the emotion on Kyobi's face when he did the interview with Banks and all the tweets that came out. They're extremely disappointed with themselves, and that's such a terrible way to end the year.
To end the year here on home soil, that's a rough one not to.
Yeah, I mean, they just made, I feel like I said in that pros match, they just made this tournament into too big of a deal for themselves. I feel like they just didn't play it right mentally.
Well, they could have, I guess, game recorded and streamed without compromise, but I guess they decided to just go out of the tournament instead. And anyway, let's take a look at the schedule, because that is what is going to be happening tomorrow. We got Ghost NRG, Astralis Liquid, MIBR, mousesports, and man, are these matchups looking dicey.
Always love to watch the Astralis Liquid one. Sure, people are going to say it's boring. Astralis are always going to win, but Liquid after that trophy, maybe things might change.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, it's cool to see because Liquid has kind of had this mental block with Astralis, I feel like. Now they finally got that trophy. Is that going to change their mentality going to that matchup? Not think of it too much?
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of wonder, can they even possibly erase everything that's happened this year, all the second places, all the shortcomings? Closing thoughts, guys, you good?
I'm happy. I had a great day.
Cool.
Yeah. Lots of toys.
Yeah,
it's Christmas.
Definitely played with the Telestrator, and tomorrow
yes.
you can be assured that we're going to be doing the same thing. The Gingerbread Man might not make it, but we will be here nonetheless. You can guarantee yourself that. Tomorrow, 3 best of 3s coming your way, and they're going to be some hot ones. So make sure you're with us when we come back for the ESL Pro League Season 8 Finals in Odense.
No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. That's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend it, I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. You either got it or you don't. You either want it or you won't. You either wanna give it everything or you wanna cry about a soul. I'ma say it from the jump. Mama ain't raised a chump. My mama raised me to persevere if I'm ever here in a slum. Cause nobody starts at the top. You do your part and you better buy. Working hard each and every day, even though some days it get hard to watch. But you gotta trust the process. Grind hard, don't you ever quit. It's a must, you see the progress. Gotta ball till you get it here. They can never do what I can do, cause they on the same stuff. If you doubt me, then I'm coming to show them what I'm made of. Yeah, always showing your integrity. Yeah, if you want it, I'ma let them see. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. That's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend it, I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. That's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend it, I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win.
Wake up, put the work in, it's the only way it's gonna work out. Hard work and dedication, no time for procrastination. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of heart mixed with motivation. On the days that you feel it down, look in the mirror for your inspiration. Like, woo, just notice, never stop, never quit. People wanna see you doing good, but never better than them. Gotta push yourself to the limits. You cannot lose if you are not in it. You gotta lose.